It is more than just a form of government. The meaning of democracy goes deeper than that.
Multiple modes of community sustainability.
But for all of its strength, it can feel delicate to maintain.
Resilience is essentially our ability to adapt, or a system's ability to adapt in the face of shock or stress.
This week, we look at the state of democracy in America, the challenges in its way, and what it will take to keep it standing strong. This is The Race. Welcome to The Race. I'm Chris Stewart. Around this time next year, we will be back at the polls for the midterm elections. But what if one day you didn't have to go to the polls to vote or send your ballot in through the mail? Would you trust the kind of technology they're testing out here in Chandler, Arizona that would allow you to vote right on your phone? There are few objects that we've instilled more trust in than this. It holds our money, our tickets, and helps us consume news stories just like this one. But can our faith in our devices run deep enough to entrust them with a role in a system where, for many, faith has been tested?
2018, one party was frustrated. In 2020, another party was frustrated. And so you have this sort of underlying distrust of what is supposed to be the hallmark of a constitutional republic, which is what we live in.
It's one of the questions that Chandler, Arizona Vice Mayor Mark Stewart says his community is looking to answer.
You should have instant results within 24 hours of an election.
This month, the Phoenix suburb is holding a mock bond election where people can cast ballots through a mobile voting app called Votes.
And they're also going to say, do you like this style of voting? Do you trust it?
Those living in Chandler will be able to download the app. They then take a picture of their government ID and record a selfie video, which Votes uses to verify their identity. They then vote right on their phones.
I'm expecting that we'll know our results immediately. As soon as the light is switched off, we'll go and we'll look at the ledger and we'll know what all the data is immediately. That doesn't exist today with our style of voting.
Votes says it's been used in 82 elections, both here in the United States and in other countries. In 2020, a Utah county ran a pilot program letting those overseas or disabled vote with the app. But it does have its critics. Last year, an MIT study said its researchers found potential weaknesses in Votes' security. Votes called the report flawed and said researchers used an outdated version of the app. They say there has never been a successful hack of their system, even though people have tried.
Almost each one of our elections over the last few years, we see some or the other kind of, attacks. And so far, no one has managed to kind of break into the system.
Votes co-founder Nimit Sawhney says the app runs on blockchain technology. When a vote is entered into the chain, it cannot be changed. The information is also not held in one location, like just a county clerk's office, but in countless locations across the internet. Experts say that makes it nearly impossible to hack. Other companies are creating their own mobile voting systems using blockchain technology as well.
Chandler's going to use this pilot program with Votes, and we're going to try to break that system and prove it wrong. If we can't prove it wrong, well, then we might have something. But again, it's not 2 years from now, it's not 4, it's probably 8, 10, 12 years from now.
While Vice Mayor Stewart says the purpose of their pilot is to see if an app and the technology behind it can be a practical option in the future, it's also about whether it can help a system at the core of our country not become contentious.
In a small little way, we can create more trust in elections, or if we can find a better way to improve voter turnout, to make it easier for somebody that's handicapped so they don't have to go to the polling location, or their ballot got lost in the mail, whatever that may be, if we can figure out a way to make that better and more accessible for people, I think that improves the life for everybody.
Half of young Americans voted in the 2020 election, one of the biggest voter turnouts for young people in recent history. Alexa Liaco spoke with students who are working to keep that momentum going.
I vote for my family.
I vote for those who can't vote.
I vote for my future.
The reasons are many, but the goal is the same.
To really enact change that can impact many, many lives for years and years to come.
A different future, something these young voters know they can build.
I want to be a part of that solution.
In last year's election, college students Raina Meyer and Hafsa Ahmed spent hundreds of hours mobilizing their community to vote.
I was able to interact one-on-one with voters in my community.
I door knocked, I phone banked, I text banked.
Efforts like theirs across the country worked. Half of Americans ages 18 to 29 voted in the presidential election. It's one of the highest participation rates since the voting age was lowered to 18 in 1970.
A lot of people, when they think of politics, they think, oh, it's too partisan, it's too messy, it's too ugly, like we're not going to get involved. And I think it's important to remember that the future that we are looking towards is one that affects all of us, no matter what we believe, no matter what our political standing is. A lot of young people do understand that.
So young people spoke up for what mattered most.
For juvenile justice, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Brandon Brooks worked with Raina, Hafsa, and many young voters through the Minnesota Alliance with Youth to help make their voices heard.
Students have always led the charge, and we know that they are in real time experiencing the world that we as adults are creating. If we just stopped and actually gave the platform to young people, that's where the work is, that's where the power is.
Now, 1 year after an empowering moment for young voters, the question is, will the young keep fighting for change?
We grew up during the Great Recession, where we saw our parents get laid off. We saw economic crashes. We've seen climate disasters. And I think that has given us an unparalleled sense of civic duty.
Both Hafsa and Raina took that sense of duty to the highest level they could. They joined the Minnesota Youth Council.
We were able to help influence legislation, talk with our legislators, and really make a difference.
Minnesota is the only state in the country that passed a law to create a council of young people to work directly with legislators. And for the first time this year, that student council got state funding.
This past year, it has been kind of a wake-up call for our country in terms of where our democracy stands. And there have been times when I've been scared about what's going to happen in the future. But what really gives me hope is my fellow young people.
That's why these students are glad their state is funding this platform for young voices.
I do think that now more than ever, we are seeing a movement of people and a movement of young people ready and willing to make the sacrifices and do the work to enact a future that we're looking for.
Our power lies in our ability to hold that drive and ambition and continue to go on and make change, because it's just a question of how long it will take to happen. It's not a question of if. If you really believe in something and can inspire other people to believe in it too, it will happen.
And they know that policy change starts with one simple action at the ballot box.
I vote for myself.
I vote for my community.
And I vote for the future.
For The Race, I'm Alexa Liacco.
Voting rights are up for debate across the country. The reasons Native communities say these proposed changes would be beneficial. You're watching The Race.